My introduction to roguelikes started with The Binding of Isaac. It was also my introduction to the Bible. All that said, it's thanks to this game that I knew the tarot cards in JoJo, so it gets my respect. Whenever we're feeling particularly pious, we'll sit down for an evening of dark humor and biblical satire, because nothing cleans the conscience like a good old-fashioned Binding of Isaac date night. This is a game that I tend to watch more than I actually get to play. The original Binding of Isaac date night took place back in a college dorm room, late at night, on an iPad. Back then, we used to take turns, except I usually die on the first floor and then watch him beat the entire game. Let's just say it's really hard to improve at something with a 40-minute nap in between each attempt. It did lead to some pretty fucking wild dreams though.
You weren't. You were gonna kill him. I was not going to kill him. I was going to sacrifice him.
Back then, we actually came up with a rule that he had to play as the Lost because he would just take way too long. Let's just say he got really good at the game because of that. It was a complete game changer when we could finally play true co-op together. I always feel like I'm the limiting reagent in our attempts. On the one hand, I got to play a lot more often, but on the other, now I have to keep up with a min-maxing lunatic.
So I was writing a reply. Wait, don't.
Well, I'm dead. Every time we play a roguelike, we get into the same oddly philosophical discussion about whether the game comes down to luck or skill. My boyfriend is very much in the camp of skill and that you have to create your own luck. But to me, it just seems like some runs the game just feels like making our lives as difficult as possible.
We just have to give the game every opportunity to help us that we can.
By hurting ourselves? He's pretty optimistic for a pessimist, but we'll be like on our third deal with the angel, rolling holy water and Dead Sea Scrolls. It's time to hold R and just admit it wasn't meant to be. Oh my god!
Wait,
what?
wait a minute. Did you step on the spikes again?
Yeah! Oh my god, wait, what?
Oh shit. Well, this should be fun.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
When I die on a floor, I still get to play, albeit as an incredibly weak ghost baby. The damage is god-awful, and at times it feels like I'm only really there for moral support and to move the camera at bad times. I actually kind of enjoy this because I get the chance to catch my breath and not have to worry about taking damage for a while. Not gonna lie, it's hard not to get at least a little jealous of how much more useful his other followers are though. I got him.
Doesn't look like you do.
I've been working on this guy this whole room. Like I mentioned before, luck has a major hand in where the evening goes on an Isaac date night, so we both get a little superstitious about our misfortune on a run. There's a healthy level of superstition, and we've both crossed that line.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
The further we get in a run, the more we start to read into things a little too much.
Go on without me.
Nick!
Oh my god! Use it!
I have a pretty bad habit of accidentally placing bombs at random times. It's like starting every run with Curse of the Tower. We call it Curse of the Girlfriend.
Was that Curse of the Girlfriend?
In co-op, we have to decide how to split up the items, and sometimes we get a little greedy with each other. We like to play the game where if I can name the item or say what it does, I get to pick it up.
Okay, wait. So,
Okay.
one sec. No, you don't have to move.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. And go.
Yay!
Nice. Ooh, pentagram.
Hey! Over the years, I've learned a lot of them, but they just keep adding more, and it's a handful trying to keep track of what they all do. I could just Google them, but that's what I got a boyfriend for. He'll find an item and get all excited about it, so I'll feel pretty bad when he lets me take it, even though I have no clue what it does. On the topic of items, my boyfriend is clearly a masochist because he'll grab every item, good or bad, including the ones he absolutely hates. He claims it's to add a little bit of flavor to the evening, but someone should really sit him down and explain what having fun is.
A better of a service, but it's a bit of a drive. And oh, look at that!
Don't encourage it. We both have our own strategies, and they don't synergize particularly well. I subscribe to an all or nothing strat, which basically means I go into a room and either lose no health or all of it. I start out being careful, but the second I get hit, all bets are off, and I just start running into shit and hemorrhaging HP.
Whoa, you're breaking formation.
Sorry. This is the complete antithesis of his, which seems like it's basically never get hit. He plays a pretty risky game and trades all his hearts away to the devil.
Do you want a deal with the devil? What am I gonna do with a soul anyways?
I'd play along, but I've played Cuphead and know better. He's all about the damage upgrades. Since I'm much more in the department of staying alive, I appreciate lots of health upgrades. Are you gonna eat that? I've never played a game before where setting your mistake meter was a bad thing.
And I get a health upgrade.
I mean, I would have taken it. A big part of the game is learning what things can or can't do to you, so I had a bit of a rocky start getting into it in the beginning. You'll kill something and think you're safe before it'll just blow up in your face or explode into bullets. We'll walk through an empty room and I'll still find ways to get hurt. I prefer when we play together because even though we die a lot more than when I let him steamroll things solo, the cooperative chaos is so much more satisfying. It seems like some kind of honor or great show of respect when he lets me pick up the gray hearts, even though I know he's just trying to prevent red heart damage for another devil deal. Maybe he forgot who he's playing with, but we're not making it to the chest this run. We leave all that we own to our cat.